Hey guys, Tony again. I did get a lot of requests about Amazon, and especially because I actually had one of my followers on TikTok send me a message directly and told me he bought like 20,000 worth of calls for Amazon. I was actually making this for him on the TA side, and I didn't want to warn him, but I know before I thought that Amazon was actually on the I was forecasting that they were going to go back all the way to their all-time highs by January, which I am not exactly super confident about now anymore, like at all. I was actually looking at the chart earlier today. I also want to apologize because I know there's been a lot of tickers that you guys asked me to do TA on, and it's kind of hard just to, to get everything kind of going because I'm back at work, and then a lot of you guys know that I just had a baby. So it's kind of hard to go through all these tickers and do TA for everybody while I'm working, and then after I get home, I'm taking care of my baby, right? But let's start running through them at least in this weekend. I'll try to get through most of them, and then we'll kind of move forward from there, right? So let's start with Amazon. Amazon, unfortunately, has been on an extremely bearish move lately, and as far as TA goes, it doesn't look good. My last projections were actually pretty successful. So the last time it actually dipped down, it's been dipping about 10% on every single bearish run downwards, right? And it is creating lower highs and lower lows, which is kind of a basic structure of market structure, right? And when it starts creating higher lower highs and lower lows, that's kind of like your sentiment of where the actual stock is going. As of right now, I'm predicting that Amazon will touch under $3,000 again sometime in the next month or so. I'm not, I don't want to say that I'm not confident on this. Usually the falls, usually the 10% dips like this from peak highs to peak lows last about 2 weeks or so, right? So as of right now, I do think that from right now, we are looking at maybe within the next 2 weeks, Amazon dropping under $3,000. That's what I'm expecting right now on this fall turn. Minimum, I do think it's gonna hit 3,019 before it rallies back up. Usually on MACD bearish crosses like this, especially when it's this high up and this overbought on the Amazon side, it does tend to fall about 10%. And that's that I wouldn't be surprised, if we do see this drop all the way down to 29.10, which is where I put my price range, my resistance right here, right? And I'm actually using weekly resistance and support, which actually makes it an even bigger and even not a bigger move necessarily, but an even bigger support. So I do think at the lowest point we might go all the way back down to like 29.10 or under $3,000 around this area, right? Just around, generally around this range of price. Once it touches this, I do not expect us to go even further down. I do not expect us to drop. I do not think we're going to keep dropping any further. I do think that we are going to, rebound off this level and go back up. But as of right now, everything on the Amazon side is looking extremely bearish. I would not be buying calls right now. If anything, I would actually buy puts, and I would ride it all the way down to the $31.20-ish level. And then if we dip under that, wait for a retest of the resistance of 31.23 again, and then I would buy more puts. So I do think it's going to follow this trajectory of a not straight down, but at least within the next couple of days, within the next 2 weeks at least, that it's going to go back down to $3,000. I can be completely wrong because the holidays are coming up. There can be some crazy news that Amazon releases where they're like, hey, you know what? Like, we just made a shit ton of money from holidays or from Prime or whatever, right? And they can completely just shoot all the way up, right? So fundamentals are always king. It's always one of those things where it's like, the news can always outbreak technicals, right? As far as if there is no huge news of Amazon actually, saying that they made a shit ton of money or something, then it's going to follow this path. It's going to keep dropping to 3,000. It's going to drop down to $3,000, right? But if there is, like I said, if there is news on Amazon that they made a shit ton of money for some reason, or they're partnering with somebody or something like a catalyst to help them climb, or it's something that's really good news, completely remove this TA from your mind and that's going to be the catalyst to buy calls, or to go in on a swing trade, or if you're a long-term holder on Amazon, to kind of confirm your your long-time hold, right? I'm 100% bullish on Amazon. I am never going to be bearish on Amazon. Amazon is an absolute mountain, and they are not going to stop their growth. They're going to keep growing 100%. I'm not going to be surprised if we see Amazon at $4,000 within the next within the next year, a couple months even. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Bezos kind of initiates a split, like a stock split for Amazon. But as far as short term, within the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, definitely within the next month, I do expect Amazon to drop all the way down to under $3,000. As far as TA goes, this is what's supporting it. A 10% drop from its all-time peak right now, of its previous peak of 32.48, dropping all the way down to about 29.12-ish, 29.10. But yeah, I do think Amazon's going to drop under $3,000 within the next month or so, maybe even 2 weeks. TA just supports it. All the momentum is downward. There's no reason. I mean, I would not buy calls right now. If anything, I would just be buying puts.